Okay, guys, we're talking a little philosophy this morning, and it's going to be a. Things are a little weird in the house of fire right now. Just, I had to replace one of the monitors on the big rig that runs the show, and I'm having some technical difficulties. So it's just going to be the one camera, nice and easy. We'll see what we can do this morning. Y'all buckle up. All right, and of course the camera's frozen. Oh, at least I've got a shirt on that time. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'll just talk over the thumbnail for a minute while I make a few quick adjustments, and hopefully that fixes everything. So good morning. Yeah, I just yeah, I just replaced one of the monitors in the studio, and the new monitor's working great, but one of the peripherals is kind of screwing up all the interaction and trying to get everything back on point. I think that should have the camera back in. No, the camera is not cooperating. So. Do we at least have audio? Do we at least have audio coming through? Well, yeah, I hate to do it, but I may have to just call it a morning so I can get this equipment back under control. Pit Danny says equipment knows when you go live. Yes, it does. Ma asks if we're not on YouTube. We are still on YouTube, and we're just having some technical difficulty here that's probably going to involve some cabling issues and resetting the machine. So I hate to do this, but I'm gonna, well, while we're still live, this just turned into a, oh, hello. Okay, so I got the camera fixed. But as you can see, part of the problem is the new, well, part of what's going on is the having to replace one of the studio monitors. I replaced the old main with a much larger and higher color quality camera, and so right now the monitor that the camera is on top of is about 4 inches, 5 inches taller than the monitor that it used to be on top of. So I gotta put a tripod in the seam of the monitors there to get that camera back down to where it should be. So it's not such an extreme down angle. Oh, okay. So, and my wife is asking if I can do the screen share for articles. I can, but I'm gonna have to fix the monitor configuration. See, everything was working until right before I went live. That's all it was. That's so I get to play with that tonight after I spend a day shooting. So, oh man. Let's see. Here's what I want to talk about. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this just because I don't have articles to, well, I have some articles, but I can't share them without doing a lot more configuration stuff. But anyway, so let's just talk. I am seeing a lot of, obviously, is Israel versus Palestine stuff going on. A lot of conversation about it. A lot of it going on between people that, I won't say people that I trust, more correctly, people whose opinions and analysis I respect. Cernovich is one of those people, and he says here, a couple weeks ago, pro-life Christians said there can be no compromise on abortion. That's how important human life is. Now, they are saying it's time to starve every Palestinian man, woman, and child. That is not a conflict, Cernovich. Let me help you understand what's happening in the Middle East. We have jobs. We go and perform services. We make products. We sell items. We engage in the activity of commerce. It allows us to treat fairly, ethically, and most falsely of all, politely with one another as human beings. You can go and purchase a cheeseburger and never, ever, ever have to get your hands dirty slaughtering a cow. You can go and buy your kale salad without ever having to get down on your knees and dig in a field and weed a garden, work a crop. You can enjoy your berry blast smoothie without ever having to crawl and pick and cut through a thorny bramble to pick the blackberries and raspberries that went into it. You can do all of that only because rough men stand ready to do violence and labor on your behalf. These things are true because we enjoy the thin veneer of what we call civility, civilization. Okay, I need to move this over here so I can see your comments this morning. Alex, you like that hot girl selfie angle? You some duck lips for you. So, as long as we all agree to engage and actively fabricate the utter fantasy of civilization, we can enjoy civility, courtesy, ethics, and morality. People are arguing about the morality of what's happening between Israel and Hamas. And just real quick, don't ever forget that what's happening over there, Hamas pulled the first trigger. Hamas started the current engagement. You can argue all you want about what happened going back, the fence, the open air prison, all that. You can argue all you want about that and go all the way back and recognize that slavery is essentially an institution created by Islam and then disseminated to the rest of the world. But never forget that what's happening right now, Hamas pulled the first trigger, and the Palestinian people voted for that organization to make their decisions on their behalf. And until they pulled that trigger, there was still the thin veneer of civility. War is a place where there is no place for morality, for ethics, for civility. War is the natural state of man. Okay? Without civilization, without the constant, concerted, and cooperative effort of men to falsify and fabricate that fantasy of civilization and polite interaction, we are naked apes running for our lives and killing what we can to eat to stay alive. Now, the reality of raw reality, which is what war is, has been made more horrific by the technological, intellectual, strategic, and tactical advancements of an intelligent human mind. Granted. But so long as we work and cooperate to continue to tell the lie of civilization, then we create a place, right? You hear these lefty sociopath academicians talk about objective reality being a farce, about all reality being subjective to about it being subjective to individual perception, and no. There are two realities. There is the state of war, and there is the veneer of civilization. Okay? I'll compare it to the transgender issue for a moment. There are two realities there. There is the actual truth that lies underneath the makeup and the fabrication. And then there is the lie that you ask everyone to agree to. And it may seem like a tenuous comparison, but that's what reality is, as most of you experience it and understand it. It is politely ascribing the veneer of courtesy to the dangerous world where not only your fellow man, but all of nature about you seeks to cause your end for its own profit, right? The ground wants you back. The beast wants your flesh. Your brother wants your wife and your furs and your spear. But we create the civilization. So when they start arguing about the morality of what's happening, cutting off power and water and food to Palestine, war is about one thing and one thing only. You put boot to ground and hold that territory through force and threat of violence. And that's it. It means holding a position, staying alive, and controlling that territory so that you can use the resources available to you in that position. When you add the fabrication of cooperative activity to that, all of a sudden you can bolster your ability to hold that land by creating logistics routes and shipping in more supplies, et cetera, et cetera. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about this morning is the thin veneer of reality and how very fragile it is. And I apologize, I don't have. No, Dawson says, too nice. Staying alive means killing the other guy. No, yeah, absolutely. It means holding the ground. It means holding the territory and maintaining control of that territory with use of force and violence. Absolutely. But the use of the threat of violence is also serves the objective. But that's where I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it, guys, because frankly, I can't keep this train of thought going effectively while nothing's working correctly and nothing's where it's supposed to be as I'm trying to get all this put together. So, thanks for watching this morning. I'll try and get this studio set up sorted out after I get back from today's shooting activity. And we will talk to you tomorrow. We love you. We will see you tomorrow.